Okay, welcome. I'm using StreamYard, so hopefully this is getting over because it's being streamlined to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Whole new game for me. It's a completely different way I would normally do things. However, I will learn on the cuff, and one of the things I think that I really do need to learn is how to have the other bits open at the same time. Anyway, I'll work that one out. I'm not sure really how many people will turn up, but it's live, so you'll be able to access it anytime you like. That's one of the reasons I like to do this way, and I can get to more people. So let me give you a quick introduction of me. I'm Bev Hepting. I've been known as the Message Maestro for many years in my capacity as a public speaking coach. Now, I'm an award-winning, I'm an international and TEDx speaker, and I coach people very successfully, I have to say, in getting over that stress and that fear and speaking. But not everybody wants to be a public speaker. So the last year or so, I've been developing what I call, or what is called, the Confident Communicators Circle. It's a network and community membership all of its own, and we do all things communication, verbal communication. So if you're looking to do video or podcast, audio, whatever it may be, live streaming like this, that's where all the information you need, the resources, the online learning, everything's going to be in that one place. So my weekly free workshop to you will go out live to the 3 platforms I've mentioned. And if you want more information, or you've got questions, or you just want to see how I could possibly help you, I have put a link to my bookings page, as I'm offering free planning sessions as part of the new year to anybody, and it's only open for 10 days. So anybody who would really like to have a planning session that is totally free, I'm not going to try and sell you anything. We're going to just look at where you want to be doing and going with your speaking, and how you can do that effectively, because there are so many places you can speak, so many, and it's about picking the right ones that work for you and the audience that you are working with. So this is our first one for January, and let me pull up the slides here. And today we're going to talk about discovering your authentic speaking voice. Okay, so many people think that to be a good speaker, you have to speak the Queen's English. Well, that's not true anymore. Might have been back in the BBC days of old, but your voice is your voice. It's unique to you. Don't change it. Some people worry because they have quite thick accents. Some because they talk too fast or they mumble. So there are techniques that allow you to use your authentic voice to speak to the people you want to speak to. And that's your power. You know, as humans, our power of communication, being able to use our voices and create speech and create the nuances of speech and everything else that goes with it, is unique to us. And it's still the most positive thing you can use in order to create a relationship with somebody. It's very hard to create a relationship with someone you've never spoken to. And I struggle with that on social media a lot when we talk about building relationships, because I haven't spoken to half the people, well, probably more than half the people that I know on social media. And I build my relationships, my trust, all of that group, that people I bring together through the power of the voice. Their voice is my voice. And that's how we develop our businesses, and that's how we prove trust. And that's how we effectively communicate with people. And it gives you a sense of confidence, and it allows the listener to see you as an expert in your field. So today is all about the authentic voice. And this is about real talk, okay? It's about being clear and confident and not hiding behind clever words or clever speak from particular industries. It's about understanding who you're speaking to and varying the way you put that message across depending on who you're talking to. So if you are possibly doing some sort of planning application and you do a presentation to the planning committee at the local council, the message is going to be the same, but that presentation, the way you talk to them, would be completely different if you then go to a community meeting to explain to local residents about what you plan to build. So although you're saying the same thing, you're saying it differently in that authentic way so that people understand it. And you're not trying to bamboozle people with clever talk, because, you know, we understand that. We understand people who try clever talk with us. We understand when people don't answer questions. You listen to any of the politicians recently. We get all that. We understand that. So it's real talk. It's coming from you. It's being open, honest, and transparent about what you're saying. And sometimes what you're saying may be very controversial, and that's fine, so long as it is coming from your heart, it's your message, and you're delivering it to the right people in the right way. So by unleashing our powerful voices, and I can't tell you how powerful our voices are, and we all, every single human being has that power. Every one of us has that power. And you can learn to speak from the heart, because that's where your inner confidence is. When you try to cover what you truly want to say, you become nervous about saying the right thing. I don't know if you've ever wanted to ask your boss for a rise, or you want to say something to the kids that they're not going to like, and you practice it and you try to put it in a way that, and then it all goes wrong. It has to be authentic from you, because that's where your confidence lies. It lies in knowing that what you want to say is true to you. You need to identify the obstacles that stop you speaking with that confidence. Nerves is one of them. The idea that people won't understand, the idea that you need to sound cleverer than you are, the need to present something in a way that goes right over everybody's head. Just fear will stop you really being able to get over those obstacles. And they are obstacles. One of my obstacles has always been, right back when I first started, I used to use cue cards until one day I dropped all of them, and I hadn't put them together, I hadn't numbered them, and suddenly it was like, I have no idea where I am. And it was a mess, that particular presentation. People in the audience didn't know, but I was like, brain going, oh, what have I done? I don't know where I'm going. So in order to overcome that now, I never use cue cards. I don't sort of learn everything word for word like a lot of people do with speeches, because I worry I'll forget. So I have a structure. I have a very simple way that I will put together a speech, a workshop, a presentation that allows me to follow through on a structure and understand where I'm going. And equally, that helps from an audience point of view, because they can follow it through. We're not jumping backwards and forwards across timelines, because something that a lot of us don't understand, or a lot of you don't understand, is how people listen. And we like to listen in a chronological order. We don't want people jumping backwards and forwards. We don't like that. So understanding the obstacles that you have, the fears you have, the nerves you have, and working on what I call plan A, B, C, and D, So if you go to a venue and you can't use your presentation and your PowerPoint and everything else, can you still do that presentation without them? If all the lights go out, what are you going to do? So it's about being confident that you can overcome the obstacles that really make you nervous. And it's about sharing your voice. It's about developing those techniques that allow you to be you, that allows you to have a really authentic voice. Now, a lot of people, women especially, hate that hard selling that a lot of men do. And I couldn't tell you why men do it more than women, but it's just the way it is. But that hard selling, that almost drumbeat that people give, and you find yourself following along because people are urging you to do what everybody else is doing. But you don't have to be that person. And I know when I coach people, people will say to me, but you're so confident and you can stand up. And I've had years of practice. I trained to do that, but equally that is just me. I'm like that outside or off the stage as much as on. And we all have our own style. We all have our own way of speaking. And that's where the power is. Not in how somebody else does it. The power is in your voice. I would love, and I practice a lot and try, it never works, to have that quieter voice. You know, that voice that when they speak, everybody listens. It's not me. It's not authentic to me. People just think I'm sulking in the corner. So I just be you. Share your voice. Develop those techniques that are yours and share them with the world. We all want to hear about them. So the thing about authenticity, it really does mean speaking from the heart. And I know that sounds a bit wishy-washy to some people, but it's not. It's not. It really is about speaking from the heart. There are things that I get very passionate about. I'm really passionate about women being able to stand up and speak about what they do with real confidence because they're brilliant at what they do. And I understand, because as women, certainly older women like myself, we were brought up to be quiet, not to boast, not to, stand out and all the rest of it. And we have to overcome those. And I get quite passionate and quite loud when I, really get going on that particular subject. And I know other speakers who will quieten down, but it still comes from their heart and it still means a lot. And when you bypass your own voice, that's when it gets awkward. That's when you feel uncomfortable. That's when you're not happy in your own skin. And you need to be happy in your own skin when you're on a stage or in front of a group of people. Because the happier you are in your skin, the more comfortable an audience feels. If you're trying to be someone else or not be authentic to yourself, trust me, people know, people get it, and everything becomes uncomfortable and everybody starts fidgeting. So in order to have an authentic voice, find those tips. And if you're not a member of the Confident Communicators Circle, then you're going to have to really hunt for them, but there's plenty in the network. Those practical tips for enhancing your voice. Discover your voice so that you can present and speak with confidence. And keep it simple. Helps a lot. One, because if we're listening, we have to take all that in and shush it about in our heads and all the stuff that matters in our past and all our prejudices and everything else comes forward. So all that's going on in a nanosecond. So the simpler you keep it, the more you're going to keep your audience listening. Find those vocal techniques that create empathy and connection. And that's about vocal variety. That's about telling a story. That's about really understanding what your audience need. if your friend turns up on the door and something awful's happened and husband's gone off or boyfriend's cheated, whatever it may be, you're not going to stand there and give them a lecture in sort of a one-tonal voice, because you empathize. You want them to feel better. You want to connect. And that means understanding the words you use, the way you use them, how they come across. Explore different ways of communicating, speaking. Try different styles to decide which one feels comfortable for you. Now, my style online is different to my style if I'm in a front of a live audience. Not that you're not all live, but you know what I mean. Two different, because they're two different techniques, but explore what works for you. Explore the technique that makes you feel comfortable, and how you can deliver your message with absolute clarity. You know, what do you do in 30 seconds or less without going all around the houses? And for me, my message across everything is very clear. I show you how to speak in public with confidence and clarity. That's it in a message. It's clear as I can get. And harness the power of your voice. Don't be afraid of your voice. Let it out and really enjoy letting people know what you do. Enjoy knowing that you have the solution to somebody's problem. Create that empathy. Let them know that you understand. And that comes around with your message and your storytelling and other various techniques. And one of the best ways is just record yourself. Listen to your recordings. Get used to hearing yourself. Get used to that. I remember, this is taking me back and really showing my age. Answering machines. When they first came out, nobody left messages on answering machines. We didn't want to do it. That was weird. Now we wouldn't think twice about leaving a message on an answer machine or whatever we do. We don't think twice about talking online and doing live streams. Just because you can do that doesn't mean you're doing it effectively or doing it well. So record yourself, listen to yourself, understand your tone. Think about whether you speak too fast. Think about, are you mumbling? Think about, am I actually saying something that they want to hear? Okay. And you can find all these resources in the Confident Communicators Circle. So it's all about speaking your truth. So if you want to know any more, I'm at bev@bevhepton.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I don't use Facebook much, but I'm on LinkedIn, or there's my phone number. So brilliant. And thank you, Jasmine and Jason, for joining me. I don't know if anybody else has, because I'm still learning about this technology. Yeah, I can speak for England, but technology I'm still learning. Oh, do you, Jasmine? You miss your answer. Do you have one on your mobile phone? I hate them now because I just get left loads and loads of messages. Anyway, the thing about this particular thing is, if you've got any questions, pop them now in the comments so that I can answer them for you. And I will also, there's a link there if you want to have a free planning session with me. And as I say, it's purely complimentary to look at where you are and where you want to be in your speaking journey, the sorts of things you need to think about. I'm not going to try and sell you anything. We're just going to do that. Jasmine, I did amazing. Thank you, Jasmine. So I will put the links when I find all the various platforms this is on, where you can go and have a look at the Confident Communicators Circle, which has its official launch on the 22nd of January, where we're doing a 4-day challenge on how to create brilliant, perfect, professional presentations. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great day and a great rest of the week, and I will see you next week if you want to join us again. Okay, bye.